I am Mohammad Ismail and I am a Microsoft Certified Trainer. The technologies I handle range from Microsoft .NET Framework 4.0 to Microsoft .NET Framework 4.0. Other than Microsoft .NET Framework, I also handle Microsoft SQL Server 2008. And the programming languages I expertise in are CSharp, Java, C++, C. And other than development technologies, I also handle OAD UML and SDLC. And the client list includes Dell, Wipro, Hexaware, Emphasis, and so on. We will start off with a Microsoft .NET Framework programming language called as C#. C# is a programming language which is given by Microsoft, written as C# but pronounced as C#. And it also says C# is an object-oriented programming language. So before we get into C# language, the prerequisites to learn this language is you should have a thorough understanding of object orientation. C# is a programming language which was introduced by Microsoft in .NET Framework 4.0 somewhere in year 2002. The other languages which are supported by .NET Framework are VB.NET, VC++, VJ#, and so on. C# is an object-oriented programming language, so it expects an object in the form of a class or a structure. When I write a program using C# language, my compiler and the runtime engine will look for an entry point into that program from where to start the execution. For that, we have a method called as main, which is again mandatory. And C# compiler expects at least one main method to be written in any C# program. Not to forget, C# is also a case-sensitive language. In order to work with C#, we require certain softwares. Number one is a text editor where you can type the programs, the syntax part, right? And you can make use of a notepad to write a C# program, or you can make use of a product given by Microsoft, that is Visual Studio. Presently, we are using Visual Studio version 2010. We have got Visual Studio 2010 here to see the demonstration. You have the provision of creating a new project. From the installed templates, ensure you select the language you are working on and the console application template from here. Optionally, select the path where you want to store your application. You can name your application name here. I'll call it as my first console application. Click on OK. Here you can see Visual Studio creates a project for you. Go to Solution Explorer, which is a sub window in Visual Studio where you have got a file called as program.cs, which is the current file which we are looking at. C# has done a lot of work for us. You can see it has imported several namespaces. It has also created a namespace. It has created a class and a entry point, that is main method. I just want to print some message onto the screen so that we will get ensured that this particular program is successfully executing. For that, I'll make use of a console class and a writeLine method in console class, which has the capability of printing something onto the console screen. Here I go with a message, hello world. I'll also give a console.readLine method here in order to freeze the console screen onto the screen. In order to execute this program which we have written into Visual Studio.NET, press F5 onto the keyboard. Visual Studio launches a console screen and it gives you the output. This is what we want to print. And here we end with the first example of C# program.